All right, we will get started. It is Monday, June 27th, and this meeting of the Human Rights Commission is now in session. You should all have the agenda in front of you here. So we will start with number 2, election of an officers. We did have our chair, Larry Cesar, did resign effective, I believe, last week. So we do need to elect a replacement for him. Do we have any discussion surrounding this topic?
I'll move to table that until our next month's meeting, just because I feel like we haven't had enough time to actually discuss who to move to next.
I concur. I think we should have more of the commissioners here to make that decision as to who will lead us going forward.
I would agree with that. That sounds fair.
Okay, I hear a motion. Do we have a second?
I second. Oh.
All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, number 3, we have our minutes from last month's meeting, if you all want to take a look at those. Thanks, Kristen, for the minutes. Is there any discussion or question on last month's minutes?
No.
All right. Number 4, we have our financial report.
I think we have to approve.
Oh, we have to approve. Sorry.
I motion to
Sorry.
approve. No, it's all right. I motion to approve the minutes from 5/23.
I second that motion.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion carries. All right. Moving on to our budget report. And you'll notice that we do have, I believe, 61% of our funds still available, although some of the things coming up under the events committee could dip into that fund. Do we have any questions on the budget report? I don't believe that's an action item. Events committee, do we have any updates on Bavarian Blast?
Not that I'm aware of.
So that'll be before our next meeting, correct?
So we
Yes.
need to
So we
decide tonight whether or not we will be participating in that.
I think previously we decided we were participating, but I don't believe that we came up with any plan of action of who is actually going to attend.
Okay.
I believe I'm out for that event, so.
I'm as well.
I know that we asked for a list and we got the t-shirts last time sizes. So
Yep.
yeah. And then we have to figure out who's going to
I
get
had worked on the logo design, but
Okay.
Larry had been the one that was going to order those shirts. So does anyone know who Larry has gone through before?
I thought we had noted on here printwear graphics.
Yep.
Okay, so I will take over on that and try to get the shirts ordered.
And if not, I mean, that's fine. We don't need them for the parade, but
So how do we know about who's going to the parade?
Yeah, it says here, if we look at our previous minutes, that we confirmed there were enough members to participate and that Casey offered the use of her truck.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Well, I'm looking at this date now, and I think that we actually are now out of town that week. Do we know if we can use Dan's truck possibly that we used last
He was
year?
not at the last meeting.
Okay, so maybe I'll reach out to Dan, otherwise Wendy. I will reach out to them and see.
Or do we just make a decision to not attend the parade this year?
Are the two of you?
I can go and I was going to bring my daughter.
Okay.
So I have 2. And
Katie, do you?
Let me check my calendar quickly.
And we also had previous members
Yeah.
join us as well, so.
So we probably would have enough.
Yeah. We just need a vehicle for sure. And then we need to make sure we have the signs ready to go. I don't know if those got ordered either.
I
This
think I
wasn't-
can probably.
I'll
And
check
we
on
have
the signs
banners.
as well. I don't know.
And
I should
I
touch
have-
base with Larry.
I have extra signs in my shed,
So do I have some.
so
Okay.
I probably have about 50 or so.
Okay. And then I will talk to Larry and see if he ever confirmed with Lisa how many we had. Otherwise, I'll get a hold of that stuff and get it all to whoever the vehicle will be
Okay.
in the parade. So just to clarify, we are going to continue with the parade. Yes? Okay.
So could we potentially team up? I'm just wondering, is it only Human Rights Commission people, or could we?
It can be like former Human Rights Commission or
Family members.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, yep.
So,
Just looking-
Are we including, I know we're including family, but friends
Yeah.
of?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
I mean,
the
there's a
more the better.
possibility,
'Cause-
I mean, I could walk in the parade, but I might also have guests so that if I were to attend, they would need to attend. And
Sure.
so
Absolutely.
I mean, last year we didn't have enough people,
I'm
so
sure,
the
yes.
more
That's why I
people, the
was
better.
wondering if we
Would be
can
awesome.
pull anyone else
We
in.
have a banner as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Decorate the vehicle.
Well,
think we just-
You can carry it.
Oh,
It's probably about 6 feet long.
okay.
So
Awesome.
my son and his friend walked with it for the parade. So
Awesome. Okay, so Bavarian Blast, and we had already decided to be in that parade, so I don't believe that's an action.
I guess the question is, did the registration get submitted?
These are, Larry had been
You'll
taking
follow
care
up.
of it, so
Okay.
I will follow up with Larry and kind of see where we're at on that. Same with the National Night Out.
And then separately, I can grab candy for the parade
Okay.
and then just submit
And,
reimbursement.
yep, submit
Okay.
for reimbursement. I think Dan got it last year, and I think it was about $100 or something.
Yeah, I can do that.
National Night Out, someone have the minutes from last
Yep.
month's pulled up. Did we decide on that? I think we had talked about doing it in place of our meeting. Oh, it was tabled.
Yeah, it
Okay,
was
so we
tabled to
do
this
need to
meeting
make a
'cause we need to
decision
decide.
tonight because we'll have to get signed up for a booth if we are going to do that too. So is there any discussion surrounding that? What are we thinking? Do we know what time it starts?
I don't believe we do. I think if,
5-ish
Oh, it
maybe, but I.
Good thing you came so you could answer questions. So if it's at 5, because that would
Yeah, so I
coincide,
think-
we'd have to cancel.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Chief. So what are our thoughts? Do we want to,
well, the
Do
problem with
that
that is
in
we're
lieu of
waiting
our
on
next meeting?
elections of chair and vice chair until next meeting. And then if
that's
we
true, that
do
pushes us to
National Night Out,
August.
we're not going to be able to proceed with that item.
My other thought is, just from being on this for about a year now, is the summer meetings are generally not super well attended. So we might be looking at October before you get a good group of everyone back, just
yes.
knowing how that goes. So
Which, I mean, I'm fine if it moves into August for,
So are we okay with postponing then? We would be postponing the,
I mean, because if
The
we don't have a
election
quorum and we
until-
just say we're going to National Night Out, there won't be a meeting. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
so what is our thought? Do we want to participate? Is that something, do we have a motion at all?
I motion that we'll just skip the July meeting, July 25th meeting and participate in National Night Out, but we have to make sure we have a couple people to man. They said they need 2 people to man the table. So
Okay.
we just have to make sure we have at least 2
I
people
can
to
be
man the
available
table.
for that if,
Okay.
as one of the,
And I know Wendy had organized activities in the past, so that might be a good resource we can figure out.
and it
Connect
might,
with her.
be beneficial if we can hand out some educational pamphlets or something besides stickers and,
Didn't we have a
Bookmarkers.
pamphlet that was put together?
They were going to look for it and and check with Larry on that.
Okay, I'll check with Larry. Otherwise, I'm not opposed to throwing together a quick pamphlet or something. So, all right, so we had a motion. Did we get a second on that?
I'll second that we attend National Night Out.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Brown County Fair. This one was tabled too, I believe, wasn't it? Or did we?
Discuss need for new supplies. Larry will order T-shirts with the assistance of Casey. We motion to order T-shirts and
I don't think the t-shirts got ordered,
Yeah.
but I will.
But we're
double
gonna,
check.
looks like we're gonna participate because I think we had
Okay.
to decide. But I don't know
And
about that
I don't know
registration
about the
either.
registration, so I will check on the registration for all of these.
I'm making you a list.
Yep, thank you.
Says that it's been submitted.
Oh, it does say?
Yes.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
And I just have a question about the Brown County Fair as far as, I think it was discussed that it doesn't always have to be a station with people at it, but what is expected of members as far as what time is it? It's a 2-hour slot, I think.
What we had done
Decided.
before is we had a spreadsheet and you signed up for what you were available for. And, I mean, you can bring a spouse. It's nice if we have one commissioner there, but if you had a spouse or
A friend.
a
or
friend,
somebody,
someone
yeah.
helping.
All right.
So having 2 people. So. All right, any other discussion on the fair or anything else from the events committee? Yes.
Would you like me to sign you up for the National Night Out?
That would be awesome.
And then you have to bring like a table and chairs and stuff like that.
Okay,
You know, we'll
Okay.
have like the shelter.
yep. Are you the coordinator for that?
I'm on the committee.
I'm so glad you came to this meeting. It's
So I'll
perfect.
just confirm that now, and
Yeah.
if you need to back out, not a problem. It's just better that they know that you're coming.
Okay.
And where is it held? Because I don't,
It's in,
oh, it is in German Park. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Chief. All right. Moving on, Education Committee. I believe, wasn't Wendy in charge of the sign, the new sign design?
Yes.
So I'm assuming no one here has more information about that at this time.
I will touch base with her. I'm on the education committee as well. We had thrown a couple design ideas around. I think we just need to decide. So I'll touch base with her and see what
Okay.
we've got and what we've decided.
All right, perfect.
Do any of you have a PDF or JPEG that is modifiable or that you can edit of the logo? Because I was looking into maybe trying some things with it myself, but if you just take a picture of off the internet of the image, it's not,
So-
the clarity is terrible.
I
but-
can
We
ask.
had looked at doing a little like doing something with like the sign of New Ulm for the shirt, doing a little different one on the shirt. That's what Larry and I had talked about. So we'll see, like, if that's something you want to.
Well, I mean, I was just going to do it as just a thing on my own to see if I came up with anything. And I sometimes design
You good with that
materials,
stuff?
marketing materials for my company individually. So it's not like I'm an expert at it or anything, or that it would even be a usable product. But I just thought I would try it and see what it looked like on different colors and different items and so forth.
Aaron's volunteering to do the logo.
Well,
Awesome.
do
Are we
something.
changing the original logo?
We had talked about doing something with possibly Herman the German, but then someone said something about different colors because it doesn't show up super well on a shirt.
No, the logo is really busy. So when you shrunk it down, it just, I don't know, it didn't look like Herman the German. It just looked like generic, kind of, you know. You got the Human Rights Commission out of it, but you couldn't really tell it was Herman the German.
Well, I think I heard someone with a lot of skills volunteer to work on that.
Well, I was just going to modify the original if it was modifiable, but
We
I don't
could,
know. I can
I
still
can
take a
get,
look
I
at
can
it
talk
and
to Jackie because Jackie
Yes.
Kriebel is the one that designed it originally. So she would be the one that would maybe have that. So maybe I can get her in touch with you.
all right.
That would be the person. So, awesome. Thanks, Aaron. All right. Anything else? Education committee? No.
No, that would be it for now.
All right. Executive committee report. We did not meet as an executive committee. The only report, I guess, would be the resignation of our former chair. And we've already kind of touched on that. Public relations committee. You will see on the agenda there's one letter to the editor posted referencing the Human Rights Commission. Oh, actually, they are all on here. I thought there was only one posted. So there are 3 letters. There were 2 letters referencing the Human Rights Commission, and then a response from our Public Relations Committee. So if you guys want to take a moment to look at that, and if there's any discussion on those messages. Are there any questions or comments on the letters to the editor? All right, I don't believe there's an action necessary for that. We'll move on. Does anyone have any current human rights issues to discuss?
I think there's one glaring example of human rights issues going on that we all have heard about by now, and I just thought it would be a good time to make some comments regarding what's going on in our country at large and how that trickles down to the community here in New Ulm. I prepared some words today, so I wouldn't ramble on too long because I know I can tend to go off track a bit. So I will just read what I put together earlier today. I personally find it disheartening, frightening, and embarrassing that we live in a country that has infringed and degraded our fellow citizens' human rights and personal dignity. In a blink of an eye, the conservative Supreme Court justices, several who lied their way through the confirmation hearings, have annihilated a woman's right to choose. Because of their zealous religious beliefs, they have chosen to overturn 50 years of precedents and impose their misguided principles on anyone who does not share their beliefs. This is such a violation of all women's human rights on so many levels and will have lasting detrimental implications on all of us for years to come. Within our own community, there are those who are celebrating this as a victory when actually it's a great human tragedy. This should not be allowed in a country that purportedly espouses the philosophy of separation of church and state. Do not be misled by the ignorance of these false prophets who are trying to force the religious agenda down all of our throats. They desire to impose their right-wing, ultra-conservative agenda on every citizen. And their veracity for overturning many of the court's decisions that have advanced equality, equity, dignity, and that have supported and sustained these vastly important rights will only expand if independent, thoughtful, and concerned citizens like those in this room, unfortunately small in number, do not make a concerted effort to fight back and demand that these rights be restored and preserved. Now is not the time for complacency, my friends. It is more important than ever for those of us who are still capable of independent and rational thoughts to voice our opinions loudly, clearly, consistently, and ensure that we promote, educate, and emphasize the importance of human rights for all. I would like to conclude with a quote that I find not only impactful, but ironic, given that it was spoken by a great leader over 60 years ago, that seems even more relevant today than ever. Eleanor Roosevelt delivered these remarks as she addressed the United Nations in New York on the 27th day of March in 1958. Where, after all, do universal human rights begin? In small places close to home, so close and so small that they cannot be seen on any maps of the world, yet they are the world of the individual person, the neighborhoods in which we live, the school or colleges we attend, the factory, the farm, or office where we work. Such are the places where every individual seeks equal justice, equal opportunity, equal dignity, without discrimination. Unless these rights have meaning there, they have little meaning anywhere. Without concerned citizen action to uphold them close to home, we shall look in vain for progress in the larger world. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Is there
For that.
any discussion on that? I don't wonder if maybe the education committee would be interested. Who's the education committee here? You two? Or
I
you?
am.
You are the only one.
It's me.
I don't know if maybe that's something you guys could talk about as a committee, maybe providing some education surrounding the topic to the community. Might be something for the committee to discuss.
And am I the only one too, just on the New Ulm level here, that feels that in some ways that for our chair having to resign is perhaps a violation of his own human rights when it is called upon you to make a choice between being employed, at a religious institution and your ability to continue to serve the community on a human rights commission? It seems to me, and I can't pretend to know what factors played into him making his decision to ultimately resign, but it just feels wrong to me that the pressure is there in this community that he couldn't even finish out the rest of his term because of the fear of the pressure that his employer would be putting on him to serve in multiple roles. And I honestly think you should be able to serve in multiple roles. I think you can be a Christian, and I think you can have your beliefs and your value system and all of that, and still serve on the Human Rights Commission and be concerned about protecting the rights of people that are not perhaps as religious or fervently into Christianity and going to, church as someone else in the community. So I'm deeply saddened that that is what it came to, actually. And I have only been on here 6 months, so that's all I have to judge it by. But I think there's something to be said about that as well. That saddens me.
And without Larry being here I am not privy to what factored into his decision either, but I think we would all agree that Larry was an amazing chair and did a lot for the community and the commission, and we will miss him, and I am disappointed that he felt the need to leave for whatever personal reasons he had. Are there any other current human rights issues to discuss?
I mean, I think it's just the tip of the iceberg, really, kind of like your statement. Yes, it was one decision, but that will likely greatly impact many other decisions, and we're seeing a few of those come to fruition now. So I think there's going to be many issues ahead that we need to keep our eyes open for.
Any other comments or discussion? All right. Moving on, legislative update. Dan is not here, so I'm assuming has anyone had communication with him of any updates?
I just think he's enjoying his summer. I see pictures of him in Char a lot. So, looks like they're having a good summer.
All right, city council liaison. Kristen, do you have anything to report?
Yeah, I don't have anything to report, nothing really pertinent to the committee.
All right, and it sounds like we need a new liaison from July to September. Who's gonna take that one?
I'll volunteer.
Oh, nice. All right, do we need a motion for that? Do we know, or can you just be appointed? Okay,
It's assigned, so I'm
you
gonna
are
say no.
assigned.
You're assigned.
There you go. Thanks for volunteering. Other business, we had the applications opened for the student commissioners, and there were no applications received. I'm wondering where we want to go from here. Do we want to possibly extend it or reopen it maybe in the fall?
Yeah, I would say, I think we should just let it be for the summer, considering school's out, and then a good time to bring it back up and put the application back out would be in September.
Maybe
during the
reaching
school
out
year
to
and
each
reach
of the
out.
schools in town and
It's too
trying
bad,
to
yeah.
generate a little more feedback.
It's too bad nobody applied, but I think maybe bad timing
Right.
End of
with
the
the
year
summer end of
and-
the year.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
So I'll motion to table that until September when school starts up again.
all right,
I'll second that.
any discussion? All right, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, our next regularly scheduled meeting is July 25th. It is not, though, because we voted to not have that, so I do not have the next scheduled meeting, but I'm sure Lisa will get that out to us soon. If no one has anything else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
I second.
All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries, we're adjourned.